Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue podcast. Ignore the stuff behind me. I was shooting another video, but I wanted to also do a review for Sentient. This is a series from TKO. Now, it's an old series, but the reason I'm doing a review now is because we just had a book club at one of my local shops, and this was the book that we discussed. So I'm really excited. We talked for a very long time about this book. And so I'm just kind of still very excited about it. So I figure I'd do a review because I think more people should be reading this book. Now, this book is, like I mentioned, from TKO Productions, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Gabriel Walta and letters by Steve Wands. To give you a quick synopsis of the premise, uh, from Eisner Award winnings Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta, when an attack kills the adults on a colony ship, the onboard AI Valerie must help the ship's children survive the perils of space. Can Valerie rise up to the task? Now, it's really interesting that, and this book it came out originally in 2019. And it's been reprinted. It's won an Eisner since then. So it's already has a very good pedigree. Like I don't have to tell you to go read this book, but I'm here to tell you to go read this book anyways. There's so much good stuff in this book. First of all, Jeff Lemire, not only is he a very prolific writer, he's just a very good writer. Like he writes, especially like some dark sci-fi twisted stuff like this. Like it's really up his wheelhouse. I mean, if you throw a rock at a comic shop, you probably hit a Jeff Lemire book. Um, so yeah, but the way this issue is, I mean, the way this series is done, it is incredible. Like, not only can this be, and it is a self-contained story, but can also expand into like this worldwide thing if they wanted to. There could be so much more sentient related stuff if Jeff Lemire wanted to, which is really fun. First of all, that's a big plus for me. Uh, the story pulls no punches. This is a very dark story. It's very sad. There's a lot of tragedy. First of all, especially when there's children involved. I think that is a way that to escalate the to really raise the stakes without having, but it doesn't feel cheap. It really feels earned. Like it really feels like, and we get off right off the bat. Like the opening shots of this are very gory. So I will give you a heads up on that. Like this is a book that it won't put you in a better mood than you already are. uh but it will definitely make you appreciate the art story. I really like how drawn out and like a slow burn for the first couple of issues. We get to really see what's going on. We get to see how tragedy strikes these children, but then also how they adapt and how Valerie begins to adapt, and then the challenges they have to overcome to as a colony, as a ship that is kind of out in space with not a lot of extra resources, with not a lot of extra knowledge. And as much as Valerie, the AI, can do on the ship, it's not self-sufficient completely. So it needs input from humans. And now the only humans that are there are these kids. All the kids also very distinct, very much. Not only do they look different, but also they act very different. They're all kinds of ages too. And I think they're very written very well. Like I don't have kids, so I'm not an expert, but this does feel like just very much like something like a world that's really lived in. Like these kids feel like they're true children. It doesn't feel like they're using very much like many tropes or stereotypes or anything like that. I will say towards the end, I feel like the pace really picks up very quickly, and that was a little jarring. I was not expecting things to kind of be wrapped up so quickly, but they're wrapped up in a way, like I mentioned, that this is definitely a self-contained story, but could go on for longer if the creators wanted. Now let's talk about Gabriel Walta. Gabriel Walta, of course, probably most famous for the Vision book with Tom King, but this should be right up there with that. I mean, Gabriel Walta's art is he has this style, like these little, like these heavy inks, these like all the facial expressions that he achieves. Like I said, all the kids look different too. Like they don't just act different, they look different. Very diverse cast, because that's what you would probably want in a colony in space, right? You wouldn't just want to take all the same kind of people, because then that would hurt your colony. And I will say this once again: this book does not skimp on the gore. It's not too graphic, but it is jarring. I think it also helps that a lot of the colors are very muted. There's not a lot of brightness in these colors. All the tones and the ambient that Walta creates with the coloring, and those, like I said, those heavy inks that, like, Walta has a very distinct style that I think really fits a dark sci-fi story like this. The ship looks really cool. Like all the mechanical stuff feels very mechanical because of the sharp angles and just the intricate designs that Gabriel Walta folds in there. Um, and then of course, Steve Wan's great letter. Like whenever it's hard to talk about lettering because when it's very well done, it goes unnoticed. But there are some really interesting, and this is kind of where it's a great line that I don't know if some of those big bombastic sounds that we have here, like loud noises and big onomatopoeia on the page, like I don't know if that comes from the letterer or from the artist, or they kind of work on that together. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: there was not a moment where I was struggling to understand or what was happening. I think the decision to have a very specific design for the AI Valerie, uh, that the lettering looks very different from all the humans. I think that's a very good choice because it allows you to separate them really. And although Valerie tries to and begins to act more human, it's definitely, you can tell that it's definitely a machine, right? It never fully gets there. So really cool stuff. Really enjoyed the book. We had a very pleasant conversation as well. If you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, check out Boomerang Comics. Um, there's not only is it a great shop, which you can get a pool and you can do all that stuff. They have a lot of games and cards and trading cards and stuff like that. They have some really nice old books as well. So if you're a collector of like things that are already in a slab or just like first appearances, things like that, they have a really great variety. And if they don't have it at the shop, I think they can also get it for you. But yeah, really cool stuff, really cool shop, really cool people at the book club. I think our average score was pretty high. I think it was around in the upper, like very close to an 8. um, but yeah, we had a really fun discussion as well, and I think when a book is good, it leads to a good conversation as well. So that's also something I wanted to bring up, which it's not something I can always do in reviews because I don't always go talk immediately to people about the books that I'm reading. So that was really neat. So highly recommend you check this out. Also, go check out some more of TKO's titles. They have a real diverse set of graphic novels and really interesting styles. You can get like single box sets. You can get some hardcovers now specifically for this. You can get a hardcover for. You can get a hardcover for Sarah. That's more of a spy thriller. So yeah, they have a lot of really fun stuff. So as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.